Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome to episode number 13 of our Old Guy Farms single player challenge. This should be the first day of autumn, and let's go ahead and just dive right in. I know that the chat stream will load up here, and folks will start joining, but I'm going to go ahead and get started because I need to be done by 9 o'clock my time. So we're going to jump right into the map. I am going to try. We had a conversation last night with some folks on the live stream, and I am going to try glance because I was noticing in either it was Old Guy Farmer or maybe it was in Farmer Klein. I was watching, or I noticed in their video that Glance was showing the status of the greenhouses, and so I sort of thought that might be a good thing for me, just to keep an eye on that. Even though I've been kind of used to filling them up, keeping them productive about every other day if time permits, and I'm just kind of thinking that that might be a good idea here. So let's just kind of see what is going on here, see if I can find, I want to go ahead and turn off the other one, which is inspect. Turn that guy off. And I'm just going to kind of quickly look through the mods here and see if there's anything else that I can go ahead and shut off that we might not need. But I think that for now, pretty much all of that is what we're going to go with. So, welcome to the stream. We got 7 folks already joined, so you guys must have been hanging out and waiting for me to click go live. And I'm glad to have you here. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the act. Well, before I do that, we've got a decision that we need to make, or I've got a decision that I need to make. And we'll go ahead and click start and find ourselves into the first day of autumn. Welcome, CW Hints. Thanks for stopping by. Chris, welcome. Glad to see you on the stream. Glad to see you in chat. Appreciate it. We do have a decision that we need to make, and I think that I have thought sort of long and hard about this today. And even though I had sort of, as we were kind of closing out the episode last night, I had sort of talked about the fact that we might sort of carry over and not do our harvest today and wait until perhaps just maybe the other field would come in to harvest time. But if we pull up our forecast, look at that rain. That rain is scaring me, to be quite honest with you, just simply because if it rains solid those days, we're going to have a lot of wet crop situations, and we're not going to be able to harvest. So if we bring up our map here, and if we look at our fields, we've got 3 fields. Now, the confusing thing is with the seasons mod is once a field is ready to be harvested, it's only ever going to show this first growth stage, or this first ready to harvest stage. But yet, if we were running the mod that we can't use, the extension mod, we could walk over that field and it would show us as 100%. So it's basically ready to go, and I think we just need to do that. So we need to pick up a couple of pieces of equipment really quick, and we're just going to have the store deliver that to us because they're very nice about that. And I don't know why my taskbar is messing about here with me. Go away. Don't know why that won't go away, but we don't have time. I want to save the game here just to lock in those settings. Okay, so we need to get our harvester. So we're going to run a harvester. I will tell you that I watched Old Guy Farmer harvest his fields with this case, and it was awfully slow. We're going to take one step up here, and we are going to rent the New Holland. It's got a little bit more expensive price on it, so we'll just have to work extra hard whenever it comes time to do some more trees and stuff like that, and we'll make that work. So we need the 18-foot New Holland header. So we're going to grab this guy, and that is the 18-footer right there, and we're going to go ahead and get that. And we're also going to lease that guy. And then we also need to lease a tipper. Or maybe we'll buy a tipper. Let's look. I was kind of looking at this guy here, 14,000, $12 a day. I tell you what we'll do. I think we're going to buy that tipper because we don't necessarily know when we will be selling, and so we don't want to have to mess about with renting a tipper whenever we want to sell and everything. So those are the things that we're going to have here. So let's go through here really quick and get our harvester reset. And I'm sorry, I'll look at the chat here in just a few minutes as soon as I get some of these things up here. Reset that guy, and then reset our header. And maybe right now we can sort of do without a header trailer for now. Hopefully we didn't put that that tipper in the wrong place, and it looks like we did. So let me move that guy out of the way really quick, and we'll get in our Ford here. Come on, Ford. These Fords take a little while to get warmed up, and so get this guy parked under there. That's good enough right there. Spin our camera around, and we'll get that tipper moved out of there. And then maybe that will allow us, boy, this tipper's big compared to this little tractor, isn't it? Hopefully we didn't make a mistake. I didn't test this. I should have tested it on another map, but you know, I'm trying not to test things. I'm trying to basically play this thing out a little bit surprising, so we kind of go through things and we don't necessarily know what's going to happen from 1 minute to the next. And looks like Bipolar Prophet is in the house. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate that. So hopefully this was the right decision. Now we probably will have, obviously, there'll be some time where we will have this combine, and we will just have to pay for the daily cost, the daily rental cost for it, because our soybeans probably aren't going to be ready for quite some time. But I'm hopeful that we can. I'm basically hopeful that we can get all of these fields, and we may not even need a header trailer, but I sort of thought if we do, we won't need it until we need to actually move down and grab the, until we actually need to move down and get the other field, the soybean field. But this, I think, will go through the gates just fine, at least for now. So we're going to get started on this wheat field right over here first, and we're just going to work as long as we possibly can. And we're going to hire a worker to do this. And what we're going to do in the meantime is we are going to, in the meantime, we need to unfold it. It's been a while since I've harvested, because the last time I have harvested a field is Lawfolds, and you guys that regularly watch my channel know that that's been quite a while ago. We have yet to harvest anything. So we'll go ahead. Oops, we don't want to do that. Let's see, we want to turn off left shift H. I'm going to remember this one of these days. Turn off the alternative helper because we just don't need that, and get rid of that, and then hire this worker. So anyway, it has been a while since I have harvested, so my bad for not remembering to actually do that. And so we're going to just tab to get out of that, and we're going to grab this tractor here, and we're going to dump that trailer right there, and then we're going to come around, and we're going to multitask today. We've got our hard worker harvesting, so hopefully our yield's going to be good off that field. And then we are going to go ahead and buy another piece of equipment here. We're going to go into forestry equipment, and we're going to get our stump grinder, and we're going to go ahead and buy it because I don't know how long we're going to need it. And it's a cheap purchase anyway, and it's only 10 bucks a day. So we're going to go ahead and buy that. And while our hired worker is actually working at harvesting, and of course we're going to kind of pay attention to him, and we're going to empty him as he needs to be emptied, and hopefully we'll always catch that on the correct side. We're going to grind some stumps. Mark DuPont, welcome to the stream. Kiwi Killer, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. I'm trying to catch you guys as you are entering the stream here. So thanks all for for coming about. And so hopefully this this tractor will run this this little guy here. It's all we got, so it'll have to do, I suppose. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. I had a great day for a Wednesday. It was pretty darn good. And so we're just going to kind of do this. We need to, let's see. There we go. We need to grind these stumps anyway around the main farm area, just simply because we are going to, let me get rid of that forecast because it's kind of depressing me seeing all that rain up there. We want to get rid of these stumps anyway, just simply because we want to have the opportunity, at least down here, to go ahead and to widen these fields out just a little bit. And of course, to be able to do that, we've got to get rid of these stumps that we cut. And this little stump grinder will help us do just that. And meanwhile, back at the farm, our New Holland is harvesting our field there. And I know that Jerry Ott, old guy farmer, was using a different model of the case, a modded model, and kind of one that I guess is kind of set at being a bit used, I suppose, and having a little bit different. And so, but I just opted to go with the in-store stuff versus trying to figure out what mod it was and download it and all that kind of stuff. And I'm trying not to copy everybody. Now, thankfully, and I will admit that when I learn something, and naturally by seeing some of both Farmer Klein's and Jerry Ott's streams that they've been doing, it is teaching me, I'm sort of seeing how they're addressing some of these problems and such. But still trying to make things out on my own. Let's see, Tyler Beckley, good evening. Welcome to the stream. CW Hint says it's hot here today. Move rock from driveway to the backyard, wheelbarrow, and 95 degrees plus temps and humidity. Ouch. I get it. And I saw something from Bipolar Prophet about, just so you know, the crisis I was having has been averted for the moment. Always a crazy ride with me. Well, you know something, sir? That's what I like about you. It's a crazy ride, and that's okay. That is okay. So does that mean that you are going to be doing some more videos? I hope. And maybe you will have some time for flight sim and farm sim and truck sim and all the wonderful sims that you like. It was rather warm here today as well. Of course, nothing. Certainly, we don't have the humidity that some of you folks have, and I fully understand that. But it was about 95 here today in Denver, with low humidity, of course. And he's back. All right. Well, that is very good news, sir. I will tell you that I thought deep down in my heart, I thought that that might be the case. And so we're going to grab this guy here. We're just going to kind of bounce around. And man, these Fords are slow to get started. You fire them up and you press on the gas pedal, and it takes a little while before it says I'm ready to go. And we're going to try to stay up with this harvester and empty her on the correct side, on the pipe side. That way we don't have to, either A, we don't have to run the risk of driving through the crop, which obviously is a bad thing, and B, we don't have to waste time by stopping him or her. I'm not sure who we have actually driving the harvester. Now, I am sort of at a decision point here, and don't really, I will seek advice from you guys. You guys fully know, at least for those of you that have been watching my stream for a while, you guys know what this is all about. Some of you may even be participating in it. I'm not sure who all the 11 folks are that's in the chat, but I would appreciate it if you guys would hit that like button and let's get a like spike going. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. But I'm curious as to what I should do as far as the straw is concerned. Should I potentially just go ahead and cultivate this straw into the ground. I'm not planning on doing cows, at least I wasn't thinking about it, simply because you know, with cows there's a lot of other stuff that goes along with it, and since the cows are clear away, and I had this conversation last night and I won't repeat that, but just in short, I like to have my animals kind of in the general proximity of my main farm and everything. It just makes it a little easier for me and my thinking. So should I potentially just cultivate that into the ground, or should I bale it and sell it? I don't know if we've got a field of wheat and we've got a field of barley. I really don't know if straw bales would actually pay the cost of renting a baler. So I guess I should have probably asked this question before I started the baler, and I would have selected the non-swath. Seasons, well, I don't see, here's what I don't know. I don't know if the chopped straw mod has been added to this map. That's a good point. At 100, so CW Hint says $150 a bale. If he doesn't have animals, he usually bells it and sells it for $150 per bale. I suppose this year we could do that just for grins and giggles, and we would certainly find out if it's going to be beneficial enough to rent a baler. I'd probably do it square bales just for the speed, and I would assume that probably a square baler is probably a little more expensive to rent than a round baler, but certainly a square baler would be quick. Now we are going to go with, I've got the manure mod installed, and so with the manure mod we will spread manure at some point, and we will cultivate that in for a ×2 bonus. Some of these, there we go. Some of these sweet spots on these stumps are just a little bit off, and I noticed that, and I know Mark had the same experience on Mountain Valley Farm, so I'm guessing it is I'm guessing it might be a Farm Sim 17 thing. Either that or it's a Geriot thing, because I've only ever ground stumps in Farm Sim 17 on a Geriot map, but I think I would almost be willing to bet it's a Farm Sim 17 thing. If so, then free fertilizer. If not, cost per bale should cover the cost of the rental of the baler. Okay, well, it's probably not anything that we need to do right now necessarily, or certainly nothing that we may be able to get to this game day. We may just have to run the risk that tomorrow, first thing, if it's not raining first thing, that we might just do that. Some of these trees I left a little tall, not on purpose, but you know, just kind of the way it goes. So unfortunately, the higher the stump you leave, the more time it takes to grind the stump, and so that's always a bit of a trade-off. But also, I suppose the higher that you leave the stump, the easier it is to see the stump. That is certainly a true statement. So I noticed, so you glance experts out there, why do I not see my greenhouses? I saw greenhouses on Farmer Klein's glance screen. Is there something that I need to do different to set up glance so I can see my greenhouses? I hope you'll give it a try, BP. You know, I know that you are I know you're a soil mod guy, and until soil mod comes available for Farm Sim 17, Seasons is really sort of filling in the void for the sort of the realism and sort of giving some reason to do things. And of course, our very mutual friend. Reefy, 1952, Mike, he obviously swears by the Seasons mod, as I know that you know. And so, oh, I don't know if I'll get to him. I don't think I'll get to him before he does his turn. I did not. I wasn't paying attention. So Farmer, I think Klein uses another mod, Inspect, I think. Yeah, I was using Inspect, and that sort of that conversation came up last night with regards to why I wasn't using Glance, and I sort of told the folks, well, I had used Inspect on Farm Sim 15, and it worked for me, and yeah, that's what I thought, and so Inspect came out first for 17, and so as a result of that, I chose to just stick with Inspect because it worked. But I was noticing last night, or maybe it was today, I was watching some of Farmer Klein's stuff, and I noticed that basically it looked like he was using Glance, and it was showing his greenhouses, because the Inspect mod, as far as I know, it doesn't show the greenhouses, or at least it doesn't show the greenhouses on my screen. So. Maybe Farmer Klein will stop by, or maybe somebody else knows, and if not, I will just message him and say, hey buddy, tell me how you get the greenhouses to show up there. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. I will just quickly tell you all about the giveaway that I'm doing. I know I talk about this a lot. I try to explain it every episode. I am doing a giveaway. And as part of the giveaway, I am giving away 3 copies of the brand new Platinum Farm Sim 17 expansion pack by Giants, which will be coming out in November the 14th, I believe, something like that. And so you can enter to win, and the way that you enter to win is basically watch my videos, watch and listen to my videos, and during the course of the video I will provide a code word or a word of the day, and I will do that a little bit later in this episode, and then you'll have that word of the day to basically exchange with me via email, and I will enter you in the drawing. And that'll be cool, because you know, I don't know how much the DLC expansion pack will cost, but if you can win it, that'll certainly save you a few pennies, and you can spend that on something else. Perhaps buy your wife some flowers or something, or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever. Come on, go away, Stump. So I didn't mention it last night, and Monday night stream was, there wasn't a whole lot of folks in attendance on Monday night stream. But obviously over the weekend we sort of heard the news about cattle and crops, and I realize that cattle and crops is a completely different game. It's not Farm Sim 17 related, but still most of us all are following the progress of it with some level of expectation, some level of hope, some level of interest anyways, and I'm just kind of curious. Obviously, if you haven't heard the news, then you know that they were allegedly partnered with Horsch, and of course Horsch is also a manufacturer that is licensed in Farm Sim 17, or in Giants Farming Simulator, I should say, because Horsch was part of 15 as well. I don't know if it goes any further back than that, but I do know that it was available in 15, and obviously it's something that's available in 17. And so somewhere sort of out of the blue, it appears that Horsch has pulled their partnership or their agreement to have the Horsch products licensed with Farm Sim 17, or I'm sorry, with Cattle and Crops. And it appears, even though it hasn't been specifically said that this is the exclusive franchise that has the exclusive access to it, but we would all assume that that's probably Giants, because what other gaming platform already has? What other gaming platform has sort of the pull to be able to do something like that? You would assume that if there's any sort of question about whether or not Cattle and Crops just doesn't have their act together or something like that, you wouldn't expect that Horsch would pony up and partner with a company that doesn't have a product out there yet. And obviously, Giants has a proven track record of putting out, even though we do sometimes complain about it, putting out a product that a lot of people like, and I will admit that it may not be perfect, and there may be things that we wish that it did differently, but it does work, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. So let's see. BP says, not surprising that Giants would work for an exclusive license deal with Horsch just to curtail CNC's development. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But the other thing that I'm concerned about is the fact that did Cattle and Crops really have an agreement in place to begin with? Because I am not an attorney, and nor do I play one on TV, and I didn't sleep on a Holiday Inn Express last night, so I really don't know what I'm talking about with regards to legal stuff, but I would assume that a contract of that sort of type would work both directions. It would protect both Horsch, and it would also protect Cattle and Crops, and of course maybe to Horsch, maybe it's worth paying whatever penalty, whatever fee that might be to sort of get out of that contract with Cattle and Crops and pony up exclusive with Giants. I don't know. Or maybe there was never one in the first place, and maybe Horsch found out about it, or maybe Horsch is not impressed with the fact that Cattle and Crops seems to have missed some deadlines. Maybe they feel like that they may not be in their best interest to put themselves or align themselves up with a company that misses deadlines and stuff like that. I don't know. Oh man, we should have went and emptied our trailer. Mark says he doesn't think they had that locked in place. The missing of deadlines just voided it, I would assume. Yep, maybe. I mean, that might be the deal. Chris says Holiday Inn Express. That's hilarious. Yeah. I can be funny when I want to. I should have went and emptied this. I don't know what I was thinking. I will admit I'm used to using a little bit bigger equipment where I've got a little bit more capacity than what this little guy looks to be, maybe 14.5 or something like that. But maybe since he's going this direction, he will probably He will probably stop at some point before he turns. Actually, you know something, I think it would be in our best interest to do this. To go ahead and go empty, because that way we know for sure that he will stop and we won't have to move him around. And we'll get this going. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've actually harvested. I haven't harvested anything since Lawfolds, and I don't know, Chris, how long has it been since I've played Lawfolds? It's probably been like a month or so. And so when you don't do something on a regular basis, you do tend to kind of forget. And but that's okay. Let's see. Something says it's blocked, but I'm guessing it says it's blocked because it's full. That's okay. I don't think there would be anything that he would be blocked on. So 1:20 in the afternoon, and we've almost got this field harvested. Yeah, I think even with my busy break that I had to put in, I think it has probably been over a month, probably about 6 weeks. BP, I've completely removed myself from any interest in CNC, although I do hope it becomes everything I think it is. And you know, I mean, I do as well. I certainly don't mean any ill will for it. I think it will obviously be it'll be a good thing for our hobby if it comes together, because clearly there are some challenges. I think if anything, it'll make Giants better for us as players, because obviously if cattle and crops do sort of put together what they've been telling us that they're going to do, I do think that Giants will need to react somewhat, because I think that, I think us as consumers, as gamers, we do want a little bit more realism. Of course, we've got an excellent modding community that delivers a lot of this for us, and that's all fine and good, but I think at the same time, having a little bit of, I mean, there should be seasons. Farm Sim 19, hopefully, should have seasons. It should have that capability. If somebody doesn't want to play with seasons, then that's an option that they can flip off. I think it would be cool if they had something like soil mod, and I think they added a little bit of the soil mod, sort of the soil mod functionality to 17 by the plowing and the 3 times fertilization and stuff like that. But I would like to see them add a little bit more of that component. And again, if somebody doesn't want to play with that level of complexity or that amount of time or dedication or whatever, then they can certainly just flip that option off. Same way with if somebody doesn't want to do plowing, mandatory plowing, they can just turn that feature off and you don't have to worry about it. You just move on, go on with your business. And that is true, Chris. That's a very good point. We're certainly not doing ourselves any favors with respect to how we're treating our modding community. My gosh, I think if I hear another modder that has been treated poorly and decided to leave, I think, oh, that's not a stump. It looked like a stump. And I know, I think at least some of our modders probably know that this kind of stuff happens, this behavioral stuff happens, but still, we need to do a better job and support them and appreciate them. Yeah, that is true, BP. The people that are part of this community are people like yourself, Mike, Reefy 1952, you know, a lot of the folks, well, I would say, you know, I'm not going to say that everyone that is a member of PCSG are good people, but I would say the large majority of it are. That is the community. That is who cares about this stuff. Come on. And BP, you bring up a very good point. There is absolutely nothing that we can do about it. Now, come on, are you finishing up? Good. There is nothing that we can do about it. I mean, just like really at the end of the day, all of these musicians like Bono and anyone else that stands up and says, we're tired of people ripping off our music, you know, there's nothing that you can do about it. And quite honestly, you know, while stealing music is not right, it's something that we have, I think that we have all done. I will raise my hand up and say that while I am a law-abiding citizen in pretty much every way that there can be, I have stolen music because I have recorded songs off the radio back in when I was growing up as a teenager, making tapes and stuff like that. I have done that, and I'm sure most of everyone else on this stream has, or maybe you've you know, recorded a album or something on a cassette and you shared that with your, gosh, I'm just driving like crazy. You've shared that with your friend or whatever, and especially the recording stuff off the radio. I mean, I used to do that all the time. All right, let's get this unloaded, and then we'll get him over here harvesting, I believe, wheat. Yeah, and I felt the same way, Chris. The amount of work, actually, installing the toolbox mod on Mountain Valley Farm, that took me quite a while, and I had to even seek assistance from my good friend Eustace Farmer, who sort of helped me, coach me through the process of doing that, because quite honestly, it was like I had two left hands trying to do some of that stuff, and a lot of it is just, you know, a lot of it is just being intimidated or whatever you want to, however you want to call it. All right, let's go empty this, and let's see. Chris says, yeah, I did that all the time too. I think all of us did. Been there, done that. Also, it's been ruled fair use as long as you don't attempt to sell the song. Yeah. But you know, I think we've all, especially all of us that are of around the same age, we've all made those mixtapes for our significant others, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. You know, there was probably some, you know, that was probably breaking the law to some extent, because it is sort of redistributing it, even though we're not making money off of it. But yeah, I think the modding thing, I think a lot of the modders would probably understand. I think it's just also, I think a lot of it has to do with the way that they are somewhat treated, in the sense that somebody will say, and I'll use Bullet Bill as an example, and I don't know the man, but I know that he took a lot of heat when he came out with Cobra Park Farm for 17, and that there were some challenges to it and everything. People just weren't understanding of the fact that, you know, there were some issues. He was going to work through them. Obviously, he was going to fix those things, but people just, you know, spoke very, very poorly of him, and that was just absolutely wrong. And then, of course, there's all the, you know, well, when is it going to be released? When is it going to be released? Why isn't it released now? Why can't I have it? And all of this kind of stuff that's obviously age old, you know. was interesting because now BP will know who I'm talking about, but Robert Randazzo, I think is how you pronounce the owner's name of PMDG. You know, everybody's been asking, well, when's the 737 NGX going to get converted for P3D V4? And you know, they couldn't understand why it wasn't converted first, since it was probably the most popular of the PMDG jets, and I would agree with that. It probably is the most popular. Obviously, it's suitable for short routes, and I think that's what most people have time for. But you know, it's also the oldest in their catalog, and it probably took a lot more effort to actually do the conversion. And so, you know, it was ready when it was ready. Where's the pipe? Pipe's on the other side, so we will catch him when he comes back up this other direction. Gaming Challenges, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. How are you doing? We are, I don't recognize your name, so I will just tell you that we are, this is a single player challenge that probably 6 or 7 folks are playing, and you can get all the information to how the challenge works and everything down below the video. There's a link that will take you to all the information that will tell you how the challenge works, why we're doing things a certain way, including why we're playing 15x speed, etc. So if you're interested in learning exactly what's going on, then you can go check that out. And right now I'm multitasking. We've got a hired worker that is harvesting wheat at the moment, and I am keeping an eye on that and going and emptying his tank for him. And then we are grinding stumps that we cut back in like day 2 or 3 or something like that, because we're going to essentially open some of this field, some of these areas up. Now I know this area right here that I'm driving through at the moment, I do know from my buddy Bipolar Prophet that it's kind of hard to harvest that because of the terrain issues. And it's also hard to cultivate and plow it and everything else, so we may not do that part in the middle. But I think that we can expand this field here that's just to the left of us. We can expand it probably, you know, 2 or 3 rows or more. Just over to that edge. And that'll help with yield and everything as we continue to progress. We are playing this map for 3 years, three game years, playing at 6 game days per season and at 15x speed. And this is episode number, this is Unlucky 13. This is episode number 13. So we've got less than 50 episodes to go. No, I'm sorry, less than 60 episodes to go. It's 72 total episodes to get this done, to get all the work done. We've got to be done by November 1st. And of course, I've said this almost every live stream. November 1st to some people may sound like it's a long ways away, but when you think about it, you got a busy schedule, you got other things that are going on in your life, you've got other games that you enjoy playing. It can get here pretty quick. I really don't know why I'm going to go and empty this right now, because it doesn't really need to be, but hey, something to do. So right now our game plan pretty much is to just dump everything into our silos and wait for great demand. So if we get a great demand for some wheat or for some barley, of course we've had nothing but great demands for the last 12 game days of various different crops, and of course we had nothing in our silos because we're just getting started with this, but we were getting just great demand after great demand after great demand. And so hopefully we will get more great demands now that we have some stuff in our silos. And be able to take advantage of that. But there's certainly no need for us right now with the money that we have to sell anything right now. And so once we get a great demand for something, we will go and sell it. And if we don't get a great demand for something, that's okay too. We can wait until next year. We can wait until year 2. But hopefully we will get some great demands. Because obviously I think that sort of the more that you sell, sort of the cheaper the price does drop. So, you know, I had once thought, well, maybe I will just keep everything in the silo, and then on like the last couple of game days, we just rent a large, we don't need to rent a semi because we've got a semi, but we rent a large tipper and semi, something that would be pulled by the semi, and we go and we sell everything. But the way that the price and everything could drop, it might just be better to sell it as we get great demands over the next few years. And let's see, Gaming Challenge says, I'm sorry, but I lost some of the speech. What speech? How do you get your tractor back and running when it breaks down? Well, and that's a good point. I need to check and see. So we got 2 game days on our Fords before we need to do maintenance. If the Seasons mod does stop the tractor, and I've actually never had it completely stop it where it's dead, where it will not run. It will obviously, it kind of is sluggish. It kind of simulates that the tractor is shutting off and restarting. Usually I was able to kind of get it to cripple back to the barn. But what you would need to do is you would need to take it to either the store, or if you've got a repair point on your farm, then you would take it to that and do the repair. If you watched the live stream from last night, episode 12, I did do maintenance on our telehandler, and so I think it cost like $45, $55, something like that, to do the maintenance on it. Obviously, each piece of equipment is going to have maybe a little bit more cost to it. Other things do sort of contribute to the increase in maintenance costs, like, for example, cleanliness. So the cleaner that you keep your vehicles and everything, the cheaper that they will be to maintain and run. And yeah, just like Chris pointed out, there is a portable toolbox mod. It's in the Giants mod hub, and it can be available to purchase. And you can kind of haul it around if you've got something to haul it in, like the back of a pickup or a bucket on a tractor or something. You can haul this portable toolbox around and perform maintenance on your vehicles. And there's just a, how do you perform maintenance? There's a, I forget what the key combination is, but you will see that whenever you have something in the shop. I'll tell you what, I think we've got all the stumps right there done. Let me just tab into the telehandler. We're not going to do maintenance on this, but I'll show you. Just very briefly. So basically, we back up into our shop. This is our work area here within the black and yellow lines. If we get out and stand next to the tractor, we will get a, well, we might not get a option because we just did maintenance on it yesterday, so it may not give us the option. Yeah, it doesn't give us the option, but if we're standing beside it, it would basically give us an option. It's left alt something or another, left alt R maybe. That would kind of make sense. And then you can do maintenance on it, and you're good to go. That's how that works. All right, let's... Thank you, Chris, for the left alt R as I run into the fence. So sort of obviously the goal of the challenge is to see who has the most money at the end of it all, after we sell all of our equipment and that kind of stuff. And so we have been doing a lot of logging, and we will resume logging once we sort of get done with our harvest, or if we're stopped and we can't harvest anymore because of rain, then obviously we will go do something to fill that time, and it will most likely be logging because that's good money. And I'm sure that you guys, even though you might be bored of me cutting down trees, I'm sure you're all cheering me on, so I appreciate that. If you see a mod in my game that I'm using, and of course this tipper trailer, the Ford tractor is a mod. There are a few other mods that I do have on this map. You can get my mod list by following or by going to my website, grizzlybearsims.com, and there's a link for mods, add-ons, and mod directory. And I've got the mods listed for both Farm Sim 17, ATS, ETS2. I actually even have my mod list still intact from Farm Sim 15, but I will just warn you that those links may not be valid. They may be dead links or whatever, just because I no longer play Farm Sim 15, and so I don't keep up with what is sort of latest and greatest and all that kind of stuff. And I've even got my mods listed in my, or not really mods, we don't really call them mods in the Flight Sim realm of things. They're more add-ons because most everything in Flight Sim is payware. Used to not be that way. I remember a day when we had things like the Posky aircraft and stuff like that that were, did I cut any trees down over there? Posky aircraft, I'm sure BP knows that name. When folks used to make good, well, decent, of course these weren't study level aircraft by any means, but they were still pretty decent flight models, decent looking textures and everything, and they used to do a lot of this stuff for free. But thank you, Gaming Challenges. I appreciate the sub. I really do. Thanks so much. And I will give you the word of the day here momentarily, and then you can enter for the giveaway. I don't guess I cut any trees over here yet, but we most likely might do at some stage. Hello, GTX. Welcome to the stream. Speaking of modding, it's one of the greats right there, GTX Modding. They make some really awesome stuff. I don't think I'm using anything of yours on this map. I am using, I think I am using one thing on Mountain Valley Farm, but I can't remember what it is right now. I think we've got all the stumps. I wish I'd counted them, but I think we got everything. We'll certainly find the stumps whenever we drop a plow in the ground, because the plow will certainly tell us that we've hit a stump. And of course, that's why we're going to keep this little stump grinder, and that way, in case we do find a stump, we'll have it. And then probably once we get this area here opened up, then most likely we will maybe sell the stump grinder. While it would probably be the right thing to do to go and grind all the stumps that we've cut down everywhere on the map that we plan to cut trees, I just don't think that time is going to permit that. And it's a challenge after all. It's not necessarily all about doing the right thing. We're not going to replant trees in the challenge. I am going to replant trees on Mountain Valley Farm. I need to do that, but we will do a little bit of that for the storyline and everything. But I'm not going to do that here on this map because it won't be of benefit to us. Trees, with the Seasons mod, it would take 2 game years for the trees to be harvestable, and 4 or 5 before they are 100%. So again, we're only going to be playing this for 3. we're only going to be playing this for 3 years, 3 game years, so they wouldn't even be tall enough to really, I don't think, get our money back from them. Can you make a multiplayer map live if I don't run into a pole and kill myself? I do have a multiplayer server. It is not active right now because not very many people have had a desire to play, and my schedule is not always such that I know when I will have the opportunity to play. And so right now it's because it hasn't been used, it's idle. But I can't put, this is single player only, so I can't put this map, or I can't do this challenge with multiplayer, unfortunately. But that's okay. How do you fast forward the season? Well, if it's before midnight with the seasons mod, it's Alt and N, and that will skip night, and that will drop you off. Right about the sunrise. If it's after midnight, then you do have to sort of manually fast forward using using your number 8 key to speed the time up and slow the time down. It's not recommended to use the manual fast forward mod, the one that speeds time by at like 12,000 times 12,000 or something, because you can get your you can get sort of the time and the seasons and the growth cycles and everything a bit out of sync. So that's not recommended. But yeah, if you progress time using number 8, that'll speed it up. You can crank it up to 120 and it'll go through night. Or if you're using the seasons mod, like I said, you can do Alt N if it's before midnight. I think it has to be after 9 o'clock and before midnight, I think. Are you in a maintenance spot there, Gaming Challenges? And also, do you have the Seasons mod installed? What map are you on as well? Well, if you've deleted the Seasons mod, you can't do Alt R because that won't work. And if you don't have the Seasons mod, then there's no need to do maintenance on your tractor unless you were going to sell it. There is that maintenance mod that you can use to improve the condition of the tractor. So basically, if you buy something from the store and you use it, obviously it depreciates in value. And you can do that. There's a mod, I forget what it's called, but it conflicts with the Seasons mod, and that might be your problem as well. If you have other mods, if you have a bunch of mods installed, you might have some mod conflicts, so that might be preventing Seasons mod from working correctly. And if that is the case, then I would recommend that you check your log file for errors. And if you don't have any errors, then make sure you have the correct version of the Seasons mod. The Seasons mod should only be downloaded from Giants Mod Hub. Anything else that you might find out on any of the other mod hosting websites is probably not the official supported version. And so there were some versions that were put out for testing purposes, and some of those got leaked to some of the mod sites, and there's some conflicts that when you do install the correct version, it will basically mess up your map. So it's probably best to get rid of any of the unofficial versions of Seasons, get the correct version from the Giants mod hub, and then perhaps even consider restarting your gameplay on the map, starting from fresh. That way you don't have any problems. But like Chris also said, you do have to go to the store, you do have to go to the shop. So if you're playing on the default version of Goldcrest Valley, the one that came with 17, you would actually have to physically drive your tractor to the shop, the store, to do maintenance on it, because that map by default doesn't have a maintenance area. That's it, the repair mod. Thank you, Chris. All right, so it looks like we're gonna pull another all-nighter tonight. We're gonna finish this wheat up, and then we're going to go over and get that canola. Yep, the repair mod does conflict with Seasons. Alright, let's go put our stump grinder away. My apologies for my taskbar being showing down there. Normally it is hidden, and but for whatever reason it was something's got it stuck open, and I had already started the stream before I realized it, and already had launched into the game, and so I didn't want to waste precious time trying to monkey around with it and figure out what was going on. So we're just gonna have to put up with that, but I'll pay more attention next time. All right, let's take a peek at what our animals are doing right quick, and make sure that they're okay. Cleanliness, we do need to clean them up, so let's go ahead and park this tractor, and we'll grab our telehandler. Probably should have done that at the start of the stream. How do you tell what day you are in with the Seasons mod? It tells you right up there at the top. It says the first day of early autumn. And as far as day of the week is concerned, if you pull up your forecast, it'll tell you, if you see down below the forecast, it says Sunday rain. That would mean that we are actually in Saturday right now. So we are playing in the Saturday game day, if that matters. And I don't really worry about the day of the week per se. It doesn't really do anything for me. But obviously you kind of need to know what season you're in, and you need to know what the planting requirements and the harvesting requirements and stuff like that are. So when you do if you do Alt F, do you see the seasons, or I'm sorry, the forecast? Come on. I am being challenged tonight with my joystick. So does Alt F bring up the forecast for you, like you see if you look down below the time where it says 21:38 or 21:40? It's going by pretty quick. If you do Alt F, do you see the forecast where it shows the days of the week and the weather? No, you're not sounding rude. You're okay. I'm a firm believer that sometimes stuff can get lost in translation in written form. We don't always get the true nature of what somebody is actually meaning to say versus how it's potentially coming out. So no worries. All right, where are we? All right, he's going to come back down the other direction, so I think he will be fine there. So let's go, and we're bouncing around a lot, I know, guys. But again, it's just kind of the nature of things. I do try to play a little bit as realistic as possible, but that's kind of some of that realism kind of has to go out the window because of the challenge. And oops, didn't see that rock. That rock jumped out in front of me. You guys saw it. I know you did. I have about 20 mods. Well, if you only have 20 mods, you're a lot more disciplined than I am. I said when I first started playing Farm Sim 17, and of course when Farm Sim 17 first came out, there were only a few mods available. There was some stuff that I think Giants had kind of staged and had some folks developing some stuff for it. So there were a few things, no maps or anything, but there were a few mods to make things interesting. And I said, well, I'm going to basically be a little bit more conservative on my mod approach, and I was only going to put certain things in, obviously all the important stuff like GPS and course play and stuff like that when it came out, and I wasn't going to do a lot of other stuff. I wasn't going to go wild with mods. What did I end up doing? I went wild with mods. Can you read the chat more? Can I read the chat more? I'm trying, buddy, but it is it's kind of like running a 3-ring circus. I've got elephants over on one ring, and I've got a bunch of monkeys that's tearing things up over in the other ring. I am trying to keep up with chat. If there's anything that I miss that you want me to answer, and if I miss it, just go ahead and ask it again, or any of the others will help as well. Pretty much everyone that's in the stream tonight that's been actively chatting, they know more than I do, so. Fast cars, and I don't know how that helps you with farming, but all right, so we will leave that tractor here for right now, and we will move our combine over because that's what matters. That's what we need to get working again. And stow our pipe. You still have the download of the Seasons mod. Okay, did you get the Seasons mod from the Giants mod hub? Did you download that through the Farm Sim 17 game itself, through the mods section, or did you download it from the Farming Simulator mods webpage? If you got it from any other mod site, it's not going to work for you right. And you need to throw it away, and you need to get the one from Giants Mod Hub. Wrong button. All right, canola. From my video. From what video? And here is canola going in the tank. we'll check our silo inventory here in just a minute and see what sort of yield we got out of these. I suppose not too bad. I think we've had about maybe 2.5 tippers off of the wheat field. So let's take a look at that right quick, shall we? Yeah, so 24,000 liters of barley. It's probably gonna hopefully come on 30. There we go. 30,000 liters of wheat. And of course we won't get that much with canola, most likely. But we'll take what we can get. And we'll be appreciative for it. When I showed the review of the Seasons mod, so I showed the review of the Seasons mod, but I did not tell you how to download it unless you watched it within the first week before the Seasons mod team asked me to remove the link. So if you've been watching my channel that long, this would have been January time frame. And if that's the version that you have, that version is old. That version is 6 or 7 months old. And again, you need to go to the Giants Mod Hub, and you need to download Seasons from the Giants Mod Hub. That's the only thing that's going to work for you, buddy. Because if you got one of the very original copies of the Seasons mod, so much has changed with it that it's not going to resemble anything. Any of the functionality is not going to resemble what you're seeing here, including I think the very earliest version of the Seasons mod, they didn't have the repair stuff working yet. So again, you need to get rid of that version. You need to delete it. You need to delete it, and you need to go get it from the Giants Mod Hub. You're 9 years old. Let's see, water level 54%, so let's do water. Yeah, that might be it too, old guy farmer, but I think he may just have, he's either got that or he's got the really old, one of the original versions of the Seasons mod. Which wouldn't resemble anything that the Seasons mod is based on today. And I brought that bucket over here, and I didn't mean to. It needs to stay over here with the as I run into that rock again. I tell you what, old guy farmer, why'd you put that rock there? By the way, folks, for you folks that are new to the stream, old guy farmer, he is the mastermind behind this challenge. And also, he is the mod editor, author that edited this Goldcrest Valley version of the Farm Sim 17 Goldcrest Valley, and made it available to all of us that are playing the challenge. So we're very much appreciative to him for doing that. And I'm not going to run into that rock again. I'm just not going to do it. All right, we got some property income that's come in. And again, I told you guys we were going to be doing another all-nighter. We did an all-nighter last night. But, you know, it is just what you do when you got so much you got to do. Time is money and all that good stuff. He's at 45%, so that's okay. And the map is public on PCSG, that's right, or you can get it from the link in under my video. I have run into that rock several times, sir. If there were, if part of the challenge was how many times we ran into that rock, I might win the challenge. I might just do it. All right, we're all about multitasking here tonight. We're trying to beat that rain. Look at all that rain that we've got. It's just scary with rain. We've got rain uh, tomorrow. Well, we've got rain today. Rain was in the forecast today um, before, what am I doing? Rain was in the forecast for today before before it rolled over to midnight. And we've got rain in the forecast for tomorrow. And we've got a dry spell, so hopefully the soybeans will be ready to be harvested on Tuesday, because that will probably be our best opportunity for that. And look at me, I hit that trailer and I moved that tongue over there. Where there's a will, there's a way. How's my 58%? I'm all right. I'll hit this trailer from this side. There we go. You know, I always tell people that a square peg will fit through a round hole, pending you have a big enough hammer. All right, finally. All right, so let's see, gaming, I'm getting the repair mod. Well, remember, we've told you the repair mod may conflict with the Seasons mod repair functionality, so be careful about that. Maybe it's full. I guess that's full too. All right. Old Guy Farmer, I have a question for you, sir. Do you use Glance? I believe you do. I think I saw that in one of your videos today. How do I get Glance to show my greenhouses? All I did was I installed Glance. Hello, Farmer Klein. If Old Guy Farmer doesn't know, I know Farmer Klein might, because that's where I saw it. Farmer Klein, how do I get Glance to show my greenhouses? It should show it automatically. Okay. Well, it's not. It's not showing it auto-magically. It just shows up when you're beside them, or they. Oh, okay. I thought it would show it all the time. I thought it would show. Okay, that makes sense. If it only shows it when it's running low, then that's fine. I just thought I would try Glance. It kind of came up in conversation last night, And as to why I didn't use glance, I was using inspect, primarily because that is what came out first for 17. And so I just started using inspect and never really looked back. So let's see if it does show up. Do I have to be out of the tractor for it to show? Oh, okay. There it goes, 94%. And this one is at 94%, 95%. 95% and 95%. Okay, that's cool. I think it was Alt or Control N and L, I think. I've got it set for level 3. I don't really know what that means, but in the screenshots on the Giants website it showed level 3, so that's how I set it. And I figured I would try it for a few days and see if it see how it works, and then gaming challenges. Can I search what? My water was at 55%. I thought it said 95%. Okay, we'll go back. We're not doing anything else right now. Line has two numbers. First is manure. First is water and second is manure. Okay, well let's see if we can figure this out. I can say I learned something new today. Always try to learn something new. My name is Ethan. Well, welcome Ethan. My name is Jerry. Okay, so we're coming up on this guy here, and there it is. So fill level is 50%. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, it's taking it now. 100%. All right. Left Alt M, more notify. Okay. Less notify. Okay, so M is left Alt M is more notify. Left Alt L is less notify. I've got it on 3. I'll leave it at 3 and just kind of see how it works for a little while, and just kind of go from there. If not, if it's too, you know, if it's if I can't get used to it or whatever, I'll go back to inspect, because that's what I've been using for about 6 or 7 months. Old habits are hard to break, you know, guys. So Farmer Klein, you did spook me with your talk about rain, and so I opted to go ahead and harvest today, instead of maybe trying to wait and capitalize on trying to rent the harvester for 1 day or 2 days and then basically harvesting everything. So at least we've got our 3 main crops, our 3 main fields here. The only thing that we do have left is our soybean crop that's planted over across the street. So we'll see how that goes. I'll show you my silos here in just a few minutes, and you guys can see if my yields are any better than yours. that's our canola. And unfortunately, I think that's all the canola we got out of here was 8,000 liters. But we got 30,000 liters of wheat, 24,000 liters of barley, and looks like just shy of 9,000 liters of canola. So nothing to really write home about, but you know, that's okay. We weren't planning on riding home anyway, so yep, Jerry's the name. All right, well that is parked. That's, well, guess we'll keep that and just we'll just pay the daily maintenance cost or the daily rental cost on it to basically keep it until we can harvest the other one, because I certainly don't want to pay the one-time fee again. You can't find the Seasons mod in the mod hub. If you go to the mod hub and go to the contest, the FS17 contest mods, the popular vote, I believe it is, it should be there on that page. Okay, time to do some eggs because we need to keep our eggs picked up. We do eggs at the morning and we do eggs in the evening. And maybe we even do eggs if we happen to walk by and see that they need to be done. We will do eggs. And let's take a look at our animal cleanliness. Man, those things are some dirty rascals. And so at 86%, hay and grass, I'm not going to waste a bell on that. We'll wait and do that in the morning. They've got water. So cleanliness, that's good. You found it. Okay, good. All right, so 3:30 in the morning. Let's go just a little bit longer here. Let me think what I can do. What can I do? Well, I tell you what, that telehandler was looking kind of dirty, so we'll wash that. Can't do maintenance on anything because we don't. I think we need one more game day before we can do maintenance on our little Fords. Now remember, gaming challenges, Ethan, you cannot, or at least it's not advisable to put the Seasons mod into an already existing game save. The developers of the Seasons mod advise against it, and it will mess things up. So don't do it. Yep, you put it in your mods folder, just like any other mod. Yeah, I know there's a light switch in here, but I always forget to turn it off. And I'm just a little conscientious. Plus the nice little night light that you gave us that illuminates with a $sign and a tractor, that's nice. Let's go ahead and wash our, what else can we wash? Can we wash anything else? Let's wash the combine. I'm just kind of killing time right now until it gets a little closer to 6 o'clock. Put that there for me to back into as well. Killing time. Not enough time to go cut any wood. It's too dark to cut any wood. Oh, look, starry night. So we're just going to wash a few vehicles, and it'll be 6 o'clock here before you know it. Just blink a couple of times. Man, I tell you what, time just flies by. All right, Mark, good night. We're going to be shutting the stream down here in at 6 o'clock. So just a few more minutes. I'll wash another tractor. And again, I'll apologize for my taskbar down there showing up. Usually I have it hidden, but there's something that's preventing it from going down, and I didn't realize it until I started the stream, and I didn't want to waste time trying to figure out what was going on with Windows. What map gaming challenges? Gold, yeah, he's playing the, I guess, the default version of Goldcrest. Well, Farmer Klein and Mr. Jerriott got all the stumps ground up around the main farm, or at least I think I got all of them ground up. Sort of did that as we multitasked while we emptied the combine. So that's ready for our field expansion. Going to at least widen a couple of the fields and try to get a little bit more yield for year 2. Oh, you don't see it due to the crawl? Okay, well that's good, I suppose. It's there. I see it. It bugs me because it's not supposed to be there. But I think there's a Windows 10 notification or something. Windows 10. I hate it and I love it at the same time. I've never entered a giveaway. Okay, well, oh, by the way, well, thanks for bringing up giveaway. So the word of the day for today, the word of the day is the word harvest, H-A-R-V-E-S-T. Full information on how you enter the giveaway, and of course this is my giveaway. This is independent of the contest award that myself and Farmer Klein and a few other people are vying to try to win. But so you basically take the code word of the day that I just gave you, the word harvest, and you send that to me via an email, and all the information on how you do that is listed down below the video. And then I will enter you into the contest drawing. And then I will be doing the contest on the contest drawing on November 6th. The DLC comes out around the 14th or 15th, or based on whenever Giants has it ready to deliver, in case there are delays. There might be, I don't know. Then I will do the I'm sorry, gaming challenges, that's not how you enter the contest. Typing it to me is not the same as following the instructions that are provided down below the video, which will require you to go and check my Discord for information on how you get my email address and how you format the email. The email needs to be formatted correctly, and all that information is listed there for you. So it is the word harvest, and let me just write that down in my spreadsheet so I will know what it is. Okay, 5:03, just a little bit more time. I know that we will probably regret not doing anything for this next game hour, which will take just a few minutes to pass by. Because there will come a time that I will say, gosh, I wish I had an hour of game time. But again, there's really nothing that we can do. Can't start on anything really new. And so I'll just start thanking you all. I appreciate you guys hanging out in the stream with me. And we've got our first harvest in. That's great news for year number 1. And of course, we will be expanding these fields up here. And then of course, we also will be picking up a new field or so. We did a mission on field 19 yesterday. And I will probably buy field number 19. And we've got soybeans down here on field number 24. Okay, gaming challenges. Ethan, you advertised your channel once, so please don't keep it up. We don't talk about other folks' channels on other people's streams. That's kind of rude, but that's okay. We'll probably also buy, so we'll buy field number 19. We may also buy field number 23. I understand field number 26, that's a big field and everything, but it's a little bit further away, so that might be like year 3 that we go into that, or who knows, I don't know, I might just get wild hair and go ahead and buy that, but at least we're going to try to keep things within the proximity of the main farm. That way we don't have to drive very far. And it's 5:30, so come on, just a few more minutes. I got to go figure out how OGF earns so much money. I've got to catch his last streams as well. So sorry you've never been in a live stream. That's okay. That's all right. I just you know, I wouldn't go into other people's live streams and doing that because they might just ban you. I'm not going to do that. I understand that you might be new, and we'll just give you that, just mention that to you and just tell you it's kind of etiquette. It's kind of an unspoken, sort of an unspoken rule. But I will tell you, while I've got about 20 more minutes of gameplay here, I will talk to you and tell you that look down below my video for everybody. This goes for everybody on the channel. There is a list of other streamers that are my friends and that also do very excellent, very nice farm sim and other simulation-based content. You'll find links to all their channels down below, so check them out. Go to their pages. And I tell you what, go ahead and click their subscribe buttons on their channels because I guarantee you that you will like their content, each and every one of them. Farmer Klein is one of the best at doing map reviews. And if you're interested in playing a map and you really don't know what map you're interested in, go in and watch a few of his map reviews and you'll get the big picture. And it'll be cool and you'll like it. And that's certainly where I get my information from. And so I think 5 more minutes. And no, I'm not going to feed the rooster. That rooster is evil. I'm telling you, that rooster chases me around the yard all the time. Where is he? I know he's stalking me right now. I know it. His eyes glow red too if you look at him long enough. All right, folks, 6 a.m. We're going to hit escape. We're going to save. And then we are going to quit the game. And I will just once again say thank you so much for watching my live streams. I appreciate it. It's great to have you all hanging out with me. And I am going to say thank you. Please tune in again for another episode. We'll be off the Unlucky 13 and on to episode 14 tomorrow evening around the same time. And tune in, and that way you can also listen for the code word for tomorrow and enter the contest as well. And you can also go back and listen to the other 12 live streams that I've done and get the code words from those episodes and enter as well. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care. God bless you all. And go do some virtual farming.